Afternoon, everybody. It is Mike here, and I'm bringing you your Tuesday devotional. I just wanted to give you a few things to think about briefly here on Tuesday, and for us to direct our thoughts during all the stuff going on in our lives right now. I think now that the summer months are upon us, it can be really weird. Summer is usually a time of transition, and it's hard to get all of our ducks in a row and trying to figure out what normal is going to look like. I think that's been the recurring theme over the last few months is finding a new normal. And now we're transitioning again, and we're officially in the green phase, and who knows how long that'll be or what that'll look like. And so as I was thinking about what are things that are important for how we think about what's next and things that are important about what's ahead, I realized I was so concerned about what's ahead, I'm not thinking about the right now, like this moment. And as important as planning is, what's going on in this moment? And so I was thinking, all right, what's a story about Jesus that seems so in the moment? And there's this cool story. It's in multiple gospels, but I really like the version in Luke. And this is Luke 15, or not 15, I'm sorry, Luke 5. And it's the story of Jesus healing this paralytic man. So Jesus is teaching, and he goes into this house to start teaching, and the crowds are so packed in there that no one can get in. And I'm just imagining a really tiny concert venue, or day on the lawn with us here usually, just how crazy packed things are, and you just can't get around. That's the scenario. And this group of friends brings one of their friends who's paralyzed on a mat, and they try to bring him in to see Jesus because they knew that Jesus has this reputation of healing people, but they couldn't get through the crowd. And so they were trying to figure out what to do, and they realized they could get up on the roof, and they lowered him through the tiles to get him in front of Jesus. And so Jesus ends up healing this person. The last verse, this is Luke 5, verse 26, is pretty funny to me. It says, and the people said, "We have seen strange things today." Isn't that just kind of comical to think about the strange things we see God do? But what I'm thinking of in particular as we think about the present moment, with everything going on for each of us individually and as families, is what are we doing? What are the ways that we are seeking Jesus out in our lives, like right now? Not our plans ahead for what worship might look like in a few weeks or months, or what school might look like, or what our jobs might look like, but right here, right now. What strikes me in this story in Luke 5 is that these people wanted to see Jesus. They knew that Jesus is the one that could change their circumstances, and it just wasn't easy to get to him. It just felt like all of the odds were against them. And so they found this bizarre way to get their friend in front of Jesus, to solve the problem only he could solve. And I think a lot of times we spend most of our lives trying to solve our own stuff and deal with our own stuff because we're not good at asking for help. And God's really just waiting for us to find him, but we get really distracted, understandably so, by circumstances and situations going on and difficulties. And so when I think about the current stuff going on in our lives, all the messes that we might be dealing with, all the personal stuff you might have going on, the work stuff, the family stuff, planning for the summer, all this, we've got a pandemic, we've got protests, we've got outcry for justice in our nation, and it can be hard to find God amidst all of that. And I just challenge you all today to think of this story of these four friends that were helping their other friend find Jesus. And sometimes we're the ones that need the support around us to help us find God amidst crazy circumstances. And sometimes we're the ones that need to help others when they're struggling and suffering. And I challenge you all to pray through who you are in that story today, and continue to pray through that as the week goes on. Who in this story are you? Are you one of the people in the crowd that's already with Jesus? Are you one of these friends that are helping someone else find Jesus when it's so hard to find him? Or are you the person that needs that help right now? don't be ashamed to call out for help. Don't be afraid to stand up for someone that needs help. That is what the entire gospel of Jesus Christ has always been about. It's like saturated throughout Scripture, but especially the Gospels. And so as you think about where you are today, I hope that God speaks to you where you're at and helps you really live into those roles. Have a great Tuesday.